श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् अपारकरुणासिन्धुं ज्ञानदं शान्तरूपिणं श्रीचन्द्रशेखरगुरुं प्रणमामि मुदान्वहम्।
श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। With the abundant blessings of our Acharya Swamiji, we have been able to experience the beauty of Adi Shankara Stotras through the program Vande GurorMandalam. After completing Ganesha Bhujangam and Guru Ashtakam, we are now in the last lap of Shiva Panchakshara Nakshatra Mala Stotram. Let us start. 24. Shloka number 24. सेवकाय मे मृड प्रसीदते नमः शिवाय भावलभ्य तावक प्रसादते नमः शिवाय पावकाक्ष देव पूज्य पादते नमः शिवाय तावकांघ्रि भक्त दत्त मोदते नमः शिवाय। सेवकाय मे मृड प्रसीदते नमः. Mrida is a term which comes frequently in Sri Rudra mantras. Mrida means someone who is very merciful, very gracious, very compassionate. So he says, this is an address to Shiva, Mrida. O Mrida, O merciful one, me sevakaya prasida. I am your servant. I am your sevak. Please bless me. Bhavalabhya tavaka prasadate namah shivaya. Tavaka prasada, your blessing is available, labhya is attainable to whom? Through bhava only, through feeling, through sentiment only, and not through external paraphernalia. When we perform a puja, when we perform a yajna, when we go to a temple, when we go on tirthatana, etc., we spend so much of our attention on externals and we forget that the true spirit of all that enterprise is bhava. It's the feeling of bhakti. We are doing it for showing our bhakti, not for showing to someone else, not for showing even to ourselves. It is only for showing of our bhakti to Parameshwara, expression of our bhakti to Parameshwara. So that predominance of feeling of bhakti should be there on the top of everything else. So only if that is there, your prasada is available. Your prasada, your anugraha, your blessing is available only to those for whom bhava is important. Bhava is paramount. Pavakaksha deva pujya padate namah shivaya. Pavaka aksha. Pavaka is Agni, we have seen before. Aksha is eye. One who is having eye of Agni, the third eye of Parameshwara in the forehead is Agni, which he used at the time he reduced Manmatha to ashes. Very rarely he uses this third eye. He doesn't normally use it. The other eyes are Surya and Chandra, which are in constant use because Surya and Chandra are ever shining. So because they are having the grace of Parameshwara, they are ever shining. Agni is also being used by all of us, and Agni has got that power because of Parameshwara's grace. But he doesn't open, he has given that power to Agni, but he doesn't open that eye he keeps it closed. Only when there is a requirement, he opens it. Deva Pujya Pada. Your feet are worshipped by Devas. This point comes frequently because Devas, you must remember, are in a constant state of pleasure. If you are in a constant state of pleasure with no dukkha attending on you, will you remember Parameshwara? Will you go and worship his feet? Will you do puja? Very doubtful. Whereas Devas constantly worship Parameshwara because they are constantly aware of the fact that they derive their power, their influence, their pleasures. They are living in Devaloka. They are commanding all the pleasures of Devaloka only at the mercy, at the pleasure of Parameshwara. So they are aware of the fact and they show their bhakti towards Parameshwara. Deva Pujya Pada. Tavaka Angri Bhakta Datta Moda. Tavaka Angri. Angri, Pada both mean the same. Your feet. Your feet. Bhakta. Those devotees who are devoted to your feet. Datta. To them you grant Moda. You grant the ultimate in Ananda. Ananda, Bhagavan is a form of Ananda, we have seen before. Sati, Chiti, Ananda is his Swarupa. But Ananda also has got several grades according to Shastra. Now, you don't get the highest level of Ananda on day one at the first instance. But as you go along, you acquire that Ananda by constant sadhana. So your Ananda gets intensified more and more. Now Moda is a higher level of Ananda. Now Vinayaka has got Modaka in his hand. Modaka we think is a piece of sweet. Yes, it is. But actually Modaka means one which gives Ananda. That means he is having Modaka in his hand. He wants to give you Ananda. The moment you worship him, he is so quickly pleased, he gives you modaka. That means he gives you ananda, not the sweet. Sweet is there, no doubt. He likes modaka and we offer him sweet and we also partake of the naivedya. But even that modaka, the sweet part inside is the ananda part and it is covered and it is not easily visible. The ananda is not easily visible. That is why you have to make effort to attain the ananda, just as you have to make an effort to go to the sweet inside the modaka. But that ananda is unparalleled, matchless. So, O merciful Parameshwara, I am your servant. Please bless me. Your blessing is available only through constant expression of bhava, not through anything, any other adambara, not through external paraphernalia. You have an eye of Agni in your forehead, and your feet are constantly worshipped by devas, and those devotees who are devoted to your feet, you grant them moda, you grant them ananda. सेवकाय मे मृड प्रसीदते नमः शिवाय भावलभ्यतावक प्रसादते नमः शिवाय पावकक्षदेव पूज्य पादते नमः शिवाय तावकाङ्घ्रिभक्त दत्त मोदते नमः शिवाय. Next, 1 minute. Atla. भुक्ति मुक्ति दिव्य भोग दायिने नमः शिवाय शक्ति कल्पित प्रपंच भागिने नमः शिवाय भक्त संकटापहार योगिने नमः शिवाय युक्त सन्मनः सरोज योगिने नमः शिवाय. Similar to all other stanzas, you also have the rhyming words here. Dayine, bhagine, yogine, yogine, like that. This rhyme is maintained in all verses. Beautiful shlokas. Bhukti, mukti, divya bhoga, dayine. He grants, Parameshwara grants to devotees three types of blessings. Bhukti, mukti and divya bhoga. Bhukti is enjoyment in this world, pleasures in this world. Now, well, those are all required. That is why people hanker after them, people pray for them. So, he grants that kind of bhukti. The second is mukti, release from the cycle of samsara, release from the cycle of birth and death. So, he grants you mukti. Divya bhoga, divine pleasures, divine enjoyments. That is, enjoyments in Swargaloka. Bhukti is enjoyment here in this human form. But after you drop your human body, if you want to enjoy Swargaloka pleasures, he will give you that also. You can spend some time in Swargaloka and enjoy all the pleasures. That is Divya Bhoga. So, he is willing to grant you whatever you desire, depending on your desire. That is why he has put all the three together. Bhukti, Mukti and Divya Bhoga. That is enjoyment here, moksha and divine pleasures, divine enjoyments in Swargaloka. Shakti Kalpita Prapancha Bhagine Namash. It's a very important description of Parameshwara's power. Now, it is Parameshwara who creates this universe. We have seen this before. Now, how he creates this universe? He creates with the help of Shakti. Because without Shakti, Shiva is powerless. This is explained in Saundarya Lahari, first shloka itself. So, there is a Shakti which is part of him. Now, what is that Shakti? That is Maya Shakti. With Maya Shakti, he is able to create this world. Shakti Kalpita. Through his Shakti, he creates. What does he create? Prapancha. He creates this universe. It is called Prapancha because it is made of 5 elements. Panchabhutas, Prapancha. This it is mind-boggling that with the help of just 5 elements, he has created the entire universe of so many types of jivas. 80 lakh yonis are there in this universe, and each category has got several varieties. Now, humanity is one category, isn't it? Out of 80 lakhs, human being is one category. Now, out of human beings, you have got males and females. You have got every male is different from every other male. Every female is different from every other female. The variety is endless. Now, everyone is made of only 5 elements. Now, supposing 5 chemicals are given to us in a chemical laboratory, and if you are asked to make different compounds, how many will you be able to make? But here, with the help of 5 elements, that is Prithvi, Jalam, Vayu, Agni, and Akasha. These 5 elements, with the help of these 5 elements, he has created this entire variegated universe. That is Prapancha. Well, after having created, he has entered the universe. This is very important. Veda is constantly reminding us that whatever you see in this universe is not what you see, is actually Parabrahma Swarupa. Parabrahma Swarupa is hiding itself in the form of something else, in the form of something which you see. So, that is why Bhagine. Bhagine means he is participating in the universe. He is an active participant. In fact, he is not an active participant. He only is there. He alone is there. All the rest is illusion. That illusion he creates with the help of Maya Shakti. This is the most basic Vedanta concept of Shankara. This we must understand. That is why it has come here. Shvetashvatara Upanishad says this clearly. Mayam tu prakritim vidyate mayinam tu maheshwaram. Mayam tu prakritim vidya. What we call prakriti, nature, is actually Maya. Whatever you call nature, that means the various jivas, the mountains, the trees, the oceans, the rivers, everything. Whatever you see on the face of the earth is nothing but Maya, is all illusion. Mayam tu prakritim vidyate. Now who is behind this Maya? Who is activating this Maya? Mayinam tu Maheshwaram. It is Maheshwara who is actually behind this Maya. So he creates this variegated universe with the help of Maya, and then he enters that.
Hello.
Pravishati is very important. This entering is very important.
Namaskaram.
So he enters this universe. That means he is present everywhere. Whatever you see is nothing but Parameshwara. That is what Jnanis have understood. We are finding it difficult to understand. We see a table as a table, a female as a female, a male as a male, a laptop as a laptop. But yogis, jnanis do not see this difference. They see this difference for the purpose of vyavahara, but they know internally that all this is activated only by Parameshwara. Parameshwara has taken all these various forms. Bhakta Sankata Apahara Yogine Namashivaya. Bhakta Sankata, the miseries of devotees, Apahara, removing. Actually, Apahara is taking away, robbing. He robs devotees of their miseries. Yogine. Yogine means he is attached to this activity. That means it is natural to him. He is permanently attached to this activity. Yoga is a permanent attachment. Now, yoga we understand some asanas, etc. No, yoga is actually our union with Parabrahman. That is yoga. Yoga means union. The word yoga comes from the root yuju. Yuju means to unite. So he is united to this cause. He is ever united. His nature is this cause. What cause? Removal of the miseries of devotees. Yukta Sanmanaha Saroja Yogine. Manas Saroja. The mind is always, very often, compared to lotus when it is soft, like lotus. If your mind is hard-hearted, it cannot be compared with lotus. Whose minds are compared with lotus? Generally, yogis, jnanis, their minds are compared with lotus. Yukta Sanmanas Saroja. He has put some adjectives to this Manas Saroja, to the mind lotus. Sanmanas Saroja, of the virtuous people. The mind lotus of the virtuous people. Yukta. Yukta means they are always united. Just now we saw yoga, the same. They are always united with Parameshwara. Because they are always united with Parameshwara, they don't care for this world. They live in this world only to bide their time, and their attention is always centered on Parameshwara. So they are always yukta. So for those people, for that kind of people, the mind is nothing but lotus, so soft. So they're yogine. He is very much attached to them. You are attached to him, and he is attached to that mind lotus. Your mind is attached to the feet of Parameshwara, and Parameshwara is ever attached to you. This is mutual. So that is what he is saying. He starts with yukta and finishes with yogine. This mutual attachment is what one has to understand. Devotion is not a one-way traffic. If you are devoted, in fact, Shastra says if you take one step forward, Bhagavan takes 10 steps towards you. So it is more of return from him rather than your effort. So this is what is brought out here by saying that the yogis who are virtuous, their mind lotus, Parameshwara is ever attached to that mind lotus. Parameshwara grants enjoyments of this world, mundane enjoyments, or release from the cycle of birth and death, mukti, or divine enjoyments in Swargaloka, depending on what you wish. And with the help of his constant Shakti, ever present Shakti, Maya, he creates this elements out of 5. This creates this universe out of 5 elements, and he enters them. He is present in all the parts of the universe. There is nothing in the universe where he is absent. And he is ever attached to the removal of miseries of devotees. Yukta Sanmana Saroja Yogini. He is ever attached to the mind lotus of those who are virtuous and those who are ever attached to his feet. Bhukti Mukti Divya Bhoga Dayine Namah Shivaya. Shakti Kalpita Prapancha Bhagine Namah Shivaya. Bhakta Sankatapahara Yogine Namah Shivaya. Yukta Sanmana Saroja Yogine Namah Shivaya. Next. Antakantakaye Papahārine Namah Shivaya. Shantamaye Danti Karmadhārine Namah Shivaya. Santatashritavyathā Vidārine Namah Shivaya. Jantu Jata Nitya Saukhyakārine Namah Shivaya. Antakantakaye. Antaka. Antaka is Yama. He brings about the end of everybody. That's why he is known as Antaka. Anta is the end. He brings about the end of everybody. That is his job, that is his duty, that is his power. He is known as Antaka. The second Antaka is Parameshwara. That means he is Yama for Yama. That means Yama transgresses his duties like he did in the case of Markandeya, because in the case of Shiva Bhaktas, you should not go and snatch their lives. But he did that and he was punished. So he says, Yama of Yama, Papaharine, he always removes your sins. If you go and fall at his feet, he removes your sins. He is quickly pleased and he removes your sins. Now, when you say he removes your sins, that is because people want removal of sins first. Because sins are causing us dukkha and punya is causing us sukha. That is what Shastra says and we believe in that. So all our dukkhas are due to our papa, so let us get rid of the papa. So we go to Parameshwara, please get rid of our papa. He does that. But those who are interested in moksha will not pray like that. They will say, please remove our papa as well as punya. So here there is a hidden meaning. Papa harine also means punya harine if you are asking for it. It looks strange that somebody should ask for removal of punya, because punya also is an obstacle in the way of moksha. As long as punya is there to your account, you have to enjoy that. That is the law of nature. If papa is there to your account, you have to enjoy papa. If punya is there to your account, you have to enjoy punya. Either by way of enjoyment in this world, or if your punya is too much, then you have to migrate to Sargaloka and spend the rest of your time there enjoying only pleasures, because your punya is so much. So, if you want to avoid all this, because even if you spend some time in Sargaloka, you have to come back to earth for going through your balance of karma. So, and in that process, you create new karma. This is how the cycle continues. So, to get out of this cycle, you have to get rid of both punya and papa, and that can be done only by jnana. We have seen before, jnana agni dagdha karmanam. Only the agni of jnana, the fire of jnana, can burn away all the karmas. All the karmas include both papa and punya. So he is going to give you, that is what we saw in the last verse, he is going to give you mukti, if that is what you want, by burning away your papas and punya. If you are qualified for it, you have made the sadhana for mukti. Shantamaya danti charma dharine namah shivaya. Shantamaya, the most auspicious. Sham is carries the meaning auspiciousness. Shanno bhavatu, the Veda says, isn't it? Shanno bhavatur yama. So, may Aryama be auspicious to me. So, similarly, mere Sham itself means auspiciousness. Shantamaya means the most auspicious, the highest grade of auspiciousness. Danti charma dharine. He is wearing the skin of elephant. Danti is elephant. We have seen this before when he went and killed Gajasura, he took the skin of that elephant and wore it as his vastra. संतत आश्रित व्यथा विदारिणे. संतत आश्रित, ever surrendered. Those who are ever surrendered, constantly in a state of surrender, that is santata ashrita. For them, vyatha. We have seen before what is surrender. We have seen the prapatti lakshana, saranagata lakshana, the shadvidha saranagati we have seen. So these people are constantly following that principle. That is why they are called santata ashrita. For those people, vyatha means misery. Vyatha is a part of human life. We have seen before. Dukkha is a part of human life. You cannot escape it. There is no person on earth who has seen only Sukha. Because if that is the case, he would be living in Sargaloka. Because that is the place for him. Here it's a Mishra. Sukha Dukkha Mishra Bhuloka. So you have Vyatha. That misery, Vidarine. He breaks it into two. Means he destroys. He destroys the misery of those who are permanently, constantly surrendered to him. Jantujata Nitya Saukhya Karine Namah Shivaya. Jantujata. Jantujata means all Jantus. Sakala Jantu. All Jantus, all living beings, for them, Nitya Saukhya Karine. Always he grants them Saukhya. Saukhya means happiness. The feeling of sukha, feeling of pleasure. He gives them the feeling of pleasure always. What does it mean? It means all living beings, he tries to give you pleasure, but you are facing the dukkha because of your karma load. Because of your load of karma, dukkha comes to you. He cannot stop that. But there is sukha at the base of your heart. Parameshwara is the form of that Ananda. So if you turn to him, even at the time of dukkha, your dukkha load will reduce, will lessen. That is the hidden meaning of this. Because he is always trying to give you saukhya, bestow saukhya on you. But it is not in your fate to enjoy that saukhya because your fate comes in between and gives you dukkha. But even at that point, if you go to him, he will give you that kind of saukhya which will reduce the burden of dukkha or even sometimes even drive away that dukkha. That is also possible on a rare occasion. So, he is the Yama of Yama. He is the remover of sins and punya if you have prayed like that. And he is the most auspicious. He wears the skin of elephant of Gajasura and he destroys the misery of those who have constantly surrendered to him. And for all the living beings, mind you, not all the human beings, even the worm, even the animal, even the bird, even the fish, anything, any living being, he is constantly providing happiness. But we should try to take the benefit of that by approaching him, by accessing him, by meditating on him. That we should constantly do. So, Antakantakaya Papaharine Namah Shivaya, Shantamaya Danti Karmadharine Namah Shivaya, Santatashritavyatha Vidarine Namah Shivaya, Jantujata Nitya Saukhya Karine Namah Shivaya. शूलिने नमो नमः कपालिने नमः शिवाय पालिने विरिंचि मुंड मालिने नमः शिवाय. It says virinchita munda. I said in the morning also that tha is wrong. There is no tha there. Virinchi munda. लीलिने विशेष रुंड मालिने नमः शिवाय शीलिने नमः प्रपुण्य शालिने नमः शिवाय. Shuline Namo Namaha. Now there is a lot of prostration here. Only Namah Shivaya used to be there in the previous shlokas. Every pada used to end with Namah Shivaya. That is also a prostration. But here there are more prostrations. Shuline Namo Namaha. Kapaline Namah Shivaya. Shula is Trishula, the trident which he holds in his hand. That is Shula, which he is using as a weapon for using against the enemy in battle and killing him. Every Devata has got his own special weapon, like Shankha and Chakra for Mahavishnu. For Brahma, Kamandalo, water is his weapon. He doesn't hold any other weapon. He holds the Kamandalo. That water is his weapon. If he uses that water against somebody, he can be killed. Similarly, Varuna has got his Pasha, Yama has got his Danda, and so on. Every Devata has got some special weapon. Now, Trishula is the special weapon of Parameshwara. Now, this Trishula, if you have seen in the pictures, it has got three top spikes, three spikes. Now, why three? Why not four? Why not two? Three has got a big connotation in our Shastras because all our experiences as human beings are categorized into three by Shastrakaras. That is, Jagrata, Swapna, and Sushupti. You are always in one of these three states. Either you are awake, or you are sleeping, or you are dreaming. You are not in any of the any state other than these three. Because if you have transcended these three, then it is called the Turiya state, the fourth state, which is Samadhi state. In Samadhi state, you have no mind, your mind is gone, and your entire form has become that of Ishvara. That is complete union with Ishvara. You have lost yourself. So you are neither in waking state, nor in sleeping state, nor in dreaming state. That is not a dream in Samadhi. It's not a dream. It is an experience. It is a direct experience. So the direct experience, you become Ishvara yourself. That kind of feeling you get. That is the aim that one should have. That is what the Trishula reminds. So Trishula talks about three and says that you should aim at the fourth. You are always in this three, the group of three, but you come out of this three and go to the Turiya state. There are any number of these three combinations. Sthula, Sukshma and Karana, Sharira. Sharira, the Sthula Sharira is what you see. There is a Sukshma Sharira, the mind, etc., inside you, the prana, etc. And there is a Karana Sharira, which is causing you this birth. That is your karma, the karma load that travels with you from birth to birth. Your entire body does not disappear when you are cremated. If the Sthula Sharira gets cremated, the Sukshma Sharira goes to the five elements. The Sukshma Sharira goes to the five elements, and Karana Sharira travels with you to the next birth, carrying all that, all the impressions, all the vasanas. So, that stage, if you want to cross, you don't want to do this, then you have to cross the three states and go to the fourth one, which is Turiya state. And that is what the Trishula tells us. Kapaline, Kapala, he is wearing Brahma Kapalas, we have seen any number of human skulls he is wearing of Brahma, that we have seen the story before, and that is for instilling the fear in us of what will happen to you if you transgress dharma. So be always on the right side of dharma. That is the message you get from Kapala. Pali name, he is the protector. Having created the universe, he is the one who protects you. Virinchi Munda Maline. Now it is the same as what we saw in Kapaline, that Virinchi is Brahma, Munda is Kapala, the human skull. Mala, he is wearing the garland of skulls of Brahma, because Brahma has got a certain life, and after his life is over, he gets merged with Parameshwara, and his skull is owned by Parameshwara. So, any number of Virinchis have been there, Brahmas, and those Brahma skulls are on his form. Now that also reminds of the fear of adharma. Leeline means constantly in a state of sport. Leela is sport. For him, nothing is an effort. For him, everything is a sport. For us, everything is an effort. For him, everything is a sport. If you take something as a sport and don't put in the effort, you won't get the fruit, isn't it? But not for him. For him, everything is a Leela. And he engages himself in this Leela for the benefit of human beings. That is the important thing. For the benefit of living beings. He does not derive any pleasure, because if he starts deriving pleasure from the Leela, then it goes against the philosophy of Atma Rama. He is ever in a state of bliss of the Atma. He doesn't need any external motivation for happiness. So if he needs external Leela for giving him happiness, then there is something wrong. So in our philosophy, that is not correct. So he indulges in this Leela, engages himself in this Leela only and purely out of compassion for the beings. Vishesha Runda Maline. Runda is the opposite of Munda. Munda is the head without body, whereas Runda is body without head. Headless body is Runda. Occasionally, it's not a constant thing. If you see Bhairava forms, very Raudra Bhairava forms, very terrible Bhairava forms, you sometimes find him wearing this kind of garland of mutilated bodies. Kabandas also they are called sometimes. Vishesha. That's why it is called Vishesha. Special, not always. On occasion, when he fights with his enemies, sometimes they become so angry that he takes the body and wears it in his mala. Shiline, that is also again a constant reminder of following the path of Dharma. And this Runda and Munda have been interpreted by some Vidwans as a reminder of the cycle of creation and destruction. Because one is the head, another is the body. Head is the creation, body is the destruction. I mean, that is a kind of interpretation. It reminds you of that. Because head is the one which drives everything, isn't it? Brain. So that stands for creation. And without head, you have been destroyed. So the Runda stands for destruction. The cycle is constant. Not only at the time of Pralaya, when the whole universe gets destroyed and recreated afterwards. That is one. Secondly, every day, every minute, there is a creation and destruction, isn't it? Every minute people die. Every minute people are born. Every minute other living beings are also dying and being born. So, this is the constant cycle which is being reminded by this Munda and Runda according to some Vidwans. Sheeli name. Sheela is good conduct. Now, to say that Parameshwara shows good conduct, it doesn't need to be said. Why he is saying it? To remind us that he is an exemplar of good conduct. We should also become like him. Our conduct should speak for itself. We don't have to advertise our conduct. Our conduct should speak for itself as good conduct. Sheeline Namaha. Prapunyashaline Namah Shivaya. Punyashali is one who has punya to his account, isn't it? Who has lot of punya, who has accumulated lot of punya, he is punyashali. Prapunyashali, that too prakarsha, that means special. His punya is not of ordinary category, his punya is special. Maybe he has done lot of tapas in his previous birth. Maybe he has constructed lot of temples in his previous avatara. Maybe he has done lot of public good in his previous birth. Maybe he has done something very, very special. So he is prapunyashali. That is for, I was talking about ordinary humans. But here it is given, this term is given to Parameshwara. Just to say that for him, everything is punya only. Whatever he does is punya. Why? Because he is doing it for good of the universe. The universe is created by him for your good. And he enters the universe for your good. And he is conducting the universe, protecting the universe for your good. So every action of his is one of Tyaga. In fact, his Swarupa reminds one of Tyaga, isn't it? He is Nilakantha, he is having poison in his throat, He is having serpents all over. He is having a deer. He is having Agni. He is having a Damaru. He is having an Asura under his foot. So everything reminds you of Tyaga. Everything he has done for the benefit of the world. So this is the lesson for us. Whatever we do should be at least not inconveniencing someone else. That is the minimum. And we should try to help to the extent possible the fellow human beings. That is the lesson he is giving us by saying Prapunya Shaline, Vishesha Punya. So that Vishesha Punya we should also try to get, isn't it? Whatever is possible within our means. So the one who is holder of Trishula, we saw the philosophy behind it. The one who is wearing a mala of Kapalas, human skulls, the protector of the universe, the one who wears the garland of skulls of Brahma, for him everything is a sport, and he occasionally, sometimes, wears the garland of mutilated Kabanda bodies. He is the exemplar of good conduct, and he is also an exemplar of special punya, accumulated special punya. Shuline namo namak kapaline namah shivaya, paline virinchi munda maline namah shivaya, लीलिने विशेषरुण्ड मालिने नमः शिवाय, शीलिने नमः प्रपुण्य शालिने नमः शिवाय. Next. This is the Phalashruti. 27 slokas standing for 27 nakshatras we have completed. So we have come to the 28th sloka, which is the Phalashruti, narrating the fruits of this stotra, that is Phalashruti. Shiva Panchakshara Mudram Chatushpadollasa Padma Mani Ghatitam Nakshatra Malikam Iha Dhadat Upakantham Naro Bhavet Somaha. Shiva Panchakshara Mudram, the seal of Shiva Panchakshara. What is Shiva Panchakshara? Namah Shivaya. We have seen it before. That seal is there in all the slokas. Every sloka has got 4 padas, and every pada ends with Namah Shivaya. We have seen that, isn't it? So that seal is there in all the verses. Chatushpada, and every verse has got 4 padas. Ullasa Padya Mani Ghatitam. Ullasa, it takes you to the world of delight. Ullasa, it makes you full of delight. Padya, it is a line of 4, it is a verse of 4 lines. The verse of 4 lines, that is called Padya. Mani, it is like a gem. This Padya Mani, Ghatitam, this is put together. This Padya Mani is strewn together in the form of a garland. What garland? Nakshatra Malikam. This is the garland of nakshatras. These gems, these 4-lined gems, have been put together in the form of a mala garland of nakshatras. We have seen the importance of why he is calling it nakshatra mala before, because there are 27 stars and there are 27 verses standing for that, and each verse has got 4 padas. Nakshatra also has got 4 padas. So 27 into 4 gives you 108, and we are getting the benefit of chanting Namah Shivaya 108 times. So, Nakshatra Malikam, here in this world, Dadhat Upakantham Naro Bhavet Somaha. Dadhat Upakantham, wearing it near his neck, near his throat, wearing it near his throat. Upakantha, somebody had asked yesterday what is the meaning. It has 2 meanings. One is near the throat, Kantha is throat, Upakantha near the throat. Another meaning is proximity, one who is nearby. It came in the context of Brahma and Vishnu worshipping Shiva from close quarters. That close quarters was indicated by Upakantha there. So, Dadhati Upakantham, one who is holding this stotra of 27 verses in his throat. That means he has to get it by heart. In olden days, no books were there. Not even these Talapatra, these palm leaves were there. They all came into being later on. Everything was from Guru to Shishya, oral tradition, like Vedas only. Now, Vedas are known to be in oral tradition. Even other Shastras, other Puranas, nothing was written. Everything was through oral tradition. And everybody had everything kantastha, that is called kantastha, that is getting it by heart. It is there in Kantha, which you can reproduce at any time. If it is on paper, if it is a book, we need the book for reference. If it is in Kantha, you don't need anything else for reference. You go on bringing it out whenever you like. That is why Dadhati Upakantham. So you should also get this stotra by heart and always keep chanting. Now, how to keep chanting when you are doing your work? This is a question which haunts us always. We are told to chant Shiva Shiva or chant this stotra or chant some other nama all the time. Think of Bhagavan all the time. We have been told. Bhagavan himself has said in Bhagavad Gita, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhyacha. Very clear instruction. Tasmat, he has given the reason before. Sarveshu kaleshu, at all times, no exception. At all times, Mam anusmara, keep thinking of me. Anusmara is constantly thinking. Smarana after smarana. Mam anusmara, constantly think of me. Okay, think of me, don't do your work because I have told you to think. No, yudhyacha, you also do your battle. Of course, because this was Arjuna who was going for a battle, but for us it means do your work, do your dharma. So, do your dharma and also constantly remember Bhagavan. This is what Bhagavan himself has given us this instruction. That is a matter of practice. We are all known to be doing multitasking. We do, all of us do, particularly women folk. They are very good in doing multitasking. We know that. It has been established. Now, if you are able to do multitasking, and those tasks are all mundane tasks, one of the tasks can be remembering Bhagavan or chanting without making any effort. It should become a part of the system. We are finding it difficult because we are not getting used to that. We have never made an attempt to that. But if you make an attempt, people will succeed. That is what our teachers tell us, yogis tell us, jnanis tell us. That is what he is saying here. Dadhati upakantham. You wear it in your throat. Naro bhavet somaha. If you do that, you will become soma. The man will become soma. He will no longer be a man. He will no longer be an ordinary nara. He will become soma. What is soma? Soma means Parameshwara accompanied by Uma Devi. That is soma. Just two aksharas give you that profound meaning. Soma. Uma Sahita Parameshwara. So that you will become. That is the larger, deeper meaning. Ordinary meaning can be Chandra. Soma refers to Chandra. Now, because you have got by heart Nakshatra Mala, Chandra is the head of Nakshatras, the husband of all the Nakshatra Devis. So once you have mastered Nakshatra Mala, you will become Soma. This is simple, straightforward meaning. But our aim is not to become Chandra. Our aim is to become Parameshwara accompanied by Uma. That is what you will become if you put your mind to it, if you put your heart to it. That is what he is saying. This is a beautiful Falashruti. We have enjoyed this 28 shlokas of Shiva, Panchakshara, Nakshatra Stotram. Great Stotra, beautiful. So many times Namah Shivaya we are chanting, and so many beautiful ideas which will instill bhakti in us have been brought out by Adi Shankara, along with poetic embellishments. There is no dearth of poetic embellishments. Every shloka has got beautiful rhyme, etc., etc. Shiva Panchakshara Mudra Chatushpadollasa Padyamani Ghatitam Nakshatra Malika Mihe Dadhatu Upakantham Naro Bhavet Somaha. So with this we close the Shiva Panchakshara Nakshatramala Stotram, and we go to our next stotra on our list, and that is Shivananda Lahari. Shivananda Lahari is a great composition of Parameshwara, of Adi Shankara on Parameshwara, consisting of 100 shlokas. We have composed a number of stotras on Shiva, number of stotras on Vishnu, number of stotras on Devi and other divinities. But a shloka, a stotra extending over 100 shlokas is reserved for Shiva and also for Devi, Saundarya Lahari. That is also 100 shlokas. And a few others are there, but they are not so well known. Those other shlokas are not so well known. But these two have caught the attention, caught the imagination of the devotee public. But particularly our Periyava has repeatedly drawn our attention to Shivananda Lahari and Saundarya Lahari. Repeatedly has told us to study, to master, to get this by heart, to keep chanting. That is why these two have been included in our present Vande GurorMandalam series. They were not included in the previous KKSF Shankara Stotra Makaranda series. There we had taken shorter stotras because that was the first time course. Now this time we have taken up the Shivananda Lahari, Shiva Ananda Lahari. Shiva is a form of bliss. Shiva himself is Ananda, not just Ananda in a solid form, it in a Lahari form. Lahari means Lahara is a wave, a river of waves, a river of waves. That is this Ananda, a bliss river of waves. That is Shiva. That is what we are going to experience. We are going to immerse ourselves in that river of bliss. So we start with the first shloka. Now in this Shivananda Lahari, one thing I want to say before we start, that is, it is taking us into the depths of Shiva Bhakti. Bhakti is the paramount teaching here. In fact, there is a definition of Bhakti in one of the shlokas. Apart from that, all the shlokas take you to the pinnacle of Bhakti. Bhakti is all that he is speaking about repeatedly. Shiva Bhakti he wants you to cultivate. It's a beautiful poem riddled with Shabdalankaras and Arthalankaras, like we saw in the last stotra, fun, various idioms, various metaphors, various utprekshas, Arthalankara, that is, saying one thing and meaning something else. This is called utpreksha. So this kind of beauties, Shabdalankaras and Arthalankaras abound in this stotra also. And there are Navarasas, all the 9 rasas you will find coming together in this stotra. Hallmarks of great poetry you will find in this. So we start with the first shloka. Kalabhyam Kyudalankruta Shashikalabhyam Nijatapa Phalabhyam Bhakteshu Prakatita Phalabhyam Bhavatu Me Shivabhyamastoka Tribhuvana Shivabhyam Hridi Punaha Bhavabhyam Anandasparad Anubhavabhyam Natiriyam. Iyam Natihi. May this prostration be, may Bhavatu May is there in second line. May Natihi, my prostration, this prostration of mine, May Natihi Iyam Bhavatu. Let it go to whom? He is telling us to whom this prostration goes. He is prostrating to Shiva and Parvati together. Though this is Shivananda Lahari, he is going to talk about Shiva in all the shlokas. The first shloka he has dedicated to Shiva and Parvati together. So everything is in dual form here. In Sanskrit, you have Ekavachana, Dvivachana and Bahuvachana, 3 categories. Singular, plural, we have in English and Tamil. We don't have a dual for 2, but here there is a Dvivachana for 2, and all the words are in Dvivachana, in the 2 category. Kalabhyam. Kalabhyam means all arts, all knowledge. All knowledge, all arts represent Shiva and Parvati. Chodalankrita Shashikalabhyam. Choda is the hair on the head. On the top of the head, it is decorated, Alankrita, by Shashikala, crescent moon. Shashi is moon, Shashikala is crescent moon, part moon. So he is wearing his hair, his head is decorated by crescent moon. This is for both, mind you. Devi also is having Shashikala. Nija tapas phalabhyam, this is very important. One is the fruit of tapas of the other. It applies to both. Nija is the own. Own tapas phala is the other one. Shiva's tapas phala is Parvati. Parvati's tapas phala is Shiva. That is what he says here. This is frequently not understood, frequently ignored. We think Parvati has done tapas. We all know it. As the daughter of Himavan, she went and performed very rigorous, very intense tapas in Himalayas. Then Parameshwara came, gave her darshan, then married her. We all know that. But we know only that part where Parvati did tapas. What was Shiva doing all the time? He was also doing tapas in Kailasa. He was also thinking of only Parvati because Dakshayani, his consort in the previous avatara, had left him in that Yogagni in Dakshayaga. We have seen that. So then he was alone. So when he was alone, he was also doing tapas to get back Devi. And that is why he, in a state of complete dispassion, he took the form of Dakshinamurti and he started preaching jnana to Sanaka and other rishis through mauna, through silence. Because if he was going to teach through words, his attention will be diverted to the words and his tapas will not be complete. Look at this. He is doing tapas to attain Parvati. At the same time, he is transmitting jnana to Sanaka and the other rishis through mauna, through silence. So he was achieving two purposes. Nija tapah phalabhyam. This is the beauty here. Bhakteshu prakatita phalabhyam. See this kalabhyam, kalabhyam. Phalabhyam, phalabhyam. Shivabhyam, shivabhyam. Bhavabhyam, bhavabhyam. Two times each word is coming. That is a beautiful rhyme. The very first shloka conveys that rhyme. Bhakteshu prakatita phalabhyam. The first phala was tapah phala, fruit of tapas. Now here, fruit, whatever you desire, whatever the bhakta desires, that fruit for devotees, bhakteshu, prakatita, openly granted. Prakatita means granting openly, not in secret. So he grants you openly whatever fruit you desire. Both of them. When I say he, it also includes Devi. Shivabhyam astoka tribhuvana Shivabhyam. Shivabhyam. Shiva means Mangala Swarupa, form of auspiciousness. That applies to both. So he is using the dual number Shivabhyam. Both are Shiva. In fact, in Sanskrit also, one is Shivaha, another is Shiva. Shiva means the female of Shiva. Shivabhyam. Astoka Tribhuvana Shivabhyam. Astoka means a lot. We saw Stoka Bhaktitaha Api in the last stotra, where we said very little of bhakti even if you have, we said. Here it is opposite of stoka, astoka, unlimited, extraordinarily large quantity of what? Tribhuvana Shivabhyam. All the three words, he brings auspiciousness in unlimited quantity. Astoka Tribhuvana Shivabhyam. Hridi Punaha Bhavabhyam. Punarbhavam means occurring again and again. In the heart, Hridi means what? The bliss of Parameshwara and Parvati's presence in the heart is not a one-time experience. It is a constantly changing, constantly increasing, constantly different bliss. This is something which you have to experience. We have not experienced, so we don't understand this. Yogis, jnanis understand this. That is why they enjoy that experience. You never get bored with that experience because it is a constantly changing scenario. Ananda also has multiple forms, has multiple expressions. Now, all those are occurring again and again, repeatedly in different forms in the heart. That is why it is called Punarbhava. It is happening again and again. Hridi Punarbhavabhyam Ananda Spurad Anubhavabhyam Natiriyam. Ananda Spurat Anubhavabhyam. Anubhava is experience, we know that. Ananda Spurat, what kind of experience? Bringing out Ananda. Spurati means breaking out, like a cracker, Deepavali cracker. Like that, it breaks out with a lot of light. Sudden bursting of light, that is called Puranam. So Ananda Spurati, that kind of expression of bliss you experience, which keeps happening again and again in different forms, Punarbhavabhyam. So that goes with that. That is why he is putting them together. Hridi Punarbhavabhyam, Ananda Spurat Anubhavabhyam. This experience is a bursting of bliss which keeps changing again and again, which keeps increasing again and again. It comes out in different forms again and again. That is the beauty of this experience. That applies to both Shiva and Parvati. So they are in the form of all arts, all knowledge. They wear Shashikala, the crescent moon, as a decoration on their head, both of them. And each one is the fruit of tapas of the other. And both of them openly grant the fruit of desires to devotees. And both of them are forms of auspiciousness. And both of them grant unlimited, matchless auspiciousness to all the three worlds, and the enjoyment of bliss happens again and again in new forms in the heart constantly, and it is an enjoyment, it is an experience of bliss which keeps cracking up in bouts of bliss. Kalabhyam Chodalankrita Shashikalabyam Nijatapa Phalabhyam Bhakteshu Prakatita Phalabhyam Bhavatu Me Shivabhyamastaka Tribhuvana Shivabhyam Hridi Punarbhavabhyam Anandasparad Anubhavabhyam Natiriyam. May this prostration go to them. So we can have some additional special interpretations which we will reserve for tomorrow. Now time is up. If there are any questions, let us answer them and we'll close for the day. One question I already answered, that Upakantha, and I think that was the only question we had from yesterday. Any other questions?
No other questions, Mama.
No other questions. Oh, we close for the day. So we meet you again tomorrow evening at the same time, 6:30 p.m. EST, and I wish all of you all the best. Namah Parvati Pataye Har Har Mahadeva.